Good morning, everybody, and this is your Forex day trade setups for today. So we had a pretty solid break of a weekly trend line. See, there's our weekly trend line there. Have a look what's happened. We have broken through that with a lot of vigor. So very possible that we are looking to pull back into this zone here, which is at 106.434. Now, if we just get back to the hour, obviously we're looking to buy off structure, and for me right now that is an area of structure we need to pay attention to. And then you also have this area here that we've just got through now. Oscillators are grouped to the upside, so not really keen on this 100.533. I think 1 is the area to be aiming for right now. So just drop down to the hour, and you can see yesterday's structure, pull back here. So we first had the break, pull back onto this area, inside bar, good opportunity to buy into it there. Didn't really get an opportunity at the open as such, but that definitely was the first opportunity, so I'd pay attention to that. And then obviously this area here is the next area to pay attention to. That's 100.497 and then 1 dead. So anything back into that area, we're looking for an opportunity to buy. We are in an uptrend on the hour. We want to be moving with the trend. Moving on to US dollar Japanese yen, a little bit more volatile here. We had that big move down last week. We've big move up, and then we are sort of meandering to the downside. Oscillators are starting to get to an oversold area with a bit of divergence. There's a swing low with the oscillators, and now our current swing low, and you can see the oscillators are lower. This is bullish diversion. So in other words, we're looking for a continuation. So that is not quite what we're seeing on Euro USD, but it is something you need to pay attention to very closely. So we did get this trend line break. No real opportunity to get in on that trend line break yesterday. What we did do though is sort of tag. Let's just get all the levels in. So there's our zone. See, there's the high, there's the low, and then just a little bit higher was another swing low. That's kind of what we rejected there with that little pin bar. But that was quite early in the session. It was actually before we did the video. And then we sort of continued drifting down lower. So at the moment, don't want to be jumping in short here. I'd prefer to be short of one of these two areas. So this would be first price to me. That is 147.521. This would be another area that I'd be looking at fairly closely, and that is 146.735. So we're looking to ride this with the trend, which is currently down on the hour. Moving on to British pound, Japanese yen, still nothing happening here. We are still sideways. We're just flirting with the top of this range at the moment. It could be a big flag forming. It could also just be a flat bottom or flat top triangle that is forming. But there's no clear indication of what you need to be doing at the moment. You can see it's completely sideways yesterday. The only positive thing that we have here is while we're going sideways, the oscillators are easing off to the downside while we are above the moving averages. So we could be looking for a little bit of structure. And I'm just going to widen this zone because this would be the area to pay attention to, 169.482. But I want to see a break out of this to the upside or the downside. A solid break before actually jumping in on this. It is extremely volatile. I mean, look at the 15-minute. Tails to the upside, tails to the downside. Also known as barbed wire. You don't want to get involved in barbed wire. Barbed wire hurts. Moving on to Euro British Pound. And pretty much exactly the same scenario here. You can see we're drifting sideways on the 8 hour. Still drifting sideways in amongst the moving averages. No signal there on the 8 hour. When we get down to the hour, we did have this break here, and we have come back to test structure. I would pretty much watch this fairly closely. I'd want a bigger break and then a retest before I'm convinced that we're through this chaos here. So it does look possible. Pay attention to this 086817, but then I would just look at it a little bit higher up there. So that would be 086876. So if we get back into that zone, I'd be looking for a rejection there for a move lower. Okay, so that's kind of the only mini setup I'd be looking at here, and stop areas is above the swing high of yesterday. So reject this area, stop up here, and then you are looking for a measured move. And I wouldn't get too excited about a range break or something like that, but from whenever that rejection is, that's kind of the measured move that I'd be looking at. If you look to the left, you can see there's quite a bit of interaction here. So that's definitely something that I'd be paying attention to. Okay, anyway, that's it for me on Forex. Just be really careful. We still got some data, and we're still busy with some pretty serious earnings as well from the tech stock. So anything can happen right now. So just be very cautious. Keep those stops as tight as possible. Hope that helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.